So we today discuss about the President of India related under Article 52 to 78 in Part 5 of the Constitutional deal with the Union Executive. President is the head of the state and she is the first citizen of India and acts as a symbol of unity, integrity and solidarity of the nation. Election of the President participated members elected member of both house of the parliament and the elected member of legislative assembly of the states and the elected member of legislative assembly of Delhi and Puducherry and Jammu Kashmir recently added in this list. The nominated member of both house parliament, the nominated member of state legislative, the member both elected and nominated of the state legislative council in case of bicameral legislature, the nominated member of the legislative assembly of Puducherry do not participate in the election of past president. The Legislative Assembly of Delhi has no nominated member. The 104 Constitutional Amendment Act 2019 has not extended further the nomination of Anglo-Indians members to the Lok Sabha and State Legislative Assembly. In other words, the amendment discontinued the provision of a special representation of the Anglo-Indian community in the Lok Sabha and State Legislative Assembly by nomination. Consequently, this provision ceased to have effect on the 25 January 2020. Every elected member of legislative assembly of a state shall have a many votes, as there are multiples of 1000 in the quotient divided by dividing the population of the state by the total number of elected members at the assembly. This is just like some states are large and some states are small. In differencing between the equal share of vote and population dividing by the ratio, the value of votes of MLA मतलब member of legislative assembly, the value of a MLA is equal to total population of a state divided by total number of elected members in the state legislative assembly into 1 by 1000 value of a vote of MLA and MP value of vote, total value of votes of all MLA of all states divided by total number of elected member of parliament. And the electoral system is used to uh, the electoral system is used to elected by the president. Electoral quotient is equal to total number of valid votes polled plus 1. In the regarding of some members of the constitution criticize the indirect election of presidents, but so also undemocratic and proposed the idea of direct election. However, constitution makers choose the indirect election due to the following reason. Which reason of the indirect election of the president is in harmony with the parliamentary system of government envisaged in the constitution. Under the system, the president is the only nominal executive head, and the real power of the vested in the Council of Ministers headed by the PM. Is directly ruled by the people. President elected directly by the people, and not by given any real power. The election of president would have very costly and timely and energy consuming due to the vast size of electorate. This is unwarranted, keeping in views that he or she is a only symbolic head, not a real head. Some constitutional assembly suggested that the president should be elected by the member of the two house of parliament alone. This maker of the constitution did not prefer this because of dominated by one political party would be invariably chosen by a candidate that party, and such a president could not represent the states of the Indian Union. So the present system make the president a representative of the union and the states equally. That's chosen by the constitutional assembly members. And the president election, constitutional assembly election is proportional representation in the case of presidential election as a misnorm. Proportional election takes place where two or more seats are to be filled. In case of president, the vacancy is only one. It could better be called as preferential or alternative vote system. Similarly, the expression single single transferable vote is used in the election of president. It is also objected on the grounds that no voter has a single vote. Every voter has a plural vote. The various presidential election held so far, the first president of India is Dr. Rajendra Prasad, and the second be Rajendra Prasad, and so on. This is the list I will share. Qualification and qualification of the president to be elected as a to nominate qualification of the election qualification for the election of president. A person, he or she should be a citizen of India. He should have completed 35 years of age, and he should be qualified for election as a member of Lok Sabha. He should not hold any office of profit under the union government or the state government or any local authority, any other public authority. A, a president or vice president of the union, the governor of the state, and minister of the union, and the further, the nomination of a candidate for election to the office of president must be subscribed by at least 15 electoral proposer and 15 electoral secondary. Means first past the post system is used. Every candidate has to make a security deposit 50,000 rupees in the RBI. The security deposit liable to be fortified in the case of if candidate fails to secure 1/6 votes polled. Before 1997, proposal and seconder was 10 each, and the amount security deposit 2,500. In 1997, this was increased discouraged and non-serious candidate. Oath and affirmation by the President to be faithful, execute the office to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and the law, to devote himself to the service and well-being of the people of India. The oath of office to the President is administered by the Chief Justice of India, and in his absence, the senior most judge of the Supreme Court available. Con- condition of the condition of the President of India office. He should be a member of either house of the parliament, of a house, state legislature. If any person such is elected as a president, he should deem to have vacated his or her seat in the house of the date which she enters upon in the house. First, second one, he or she should not hold any office of profit, or he or she is entitled without rent, without payment free residence, Rashtrapati Bhavan, and he or she is entitled to such emolument, allowances, privilege, and may be determined by the parliament. His or her emoluments and allowance cannot be diminished during his term of office. Term and impeachment and vacancy. Term of president office is the president hold 5 year office time, or he she enter his date office. However, he she can resign from his office at any time by addressing the resignation letter to the vice president. Further, removing can be also removed by office before completion of his or her term process by the impeachment. Impeachment of president. The president can be removed from office from a process of impeachment violation of constitution. This term is mentioned in the Constitution of India. However, Constitution does not define means of phrase violation of Constitution of India. The impeachment charge can be initiated by either House of Parliament. Either House of Parliament means Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. This charge should be signed by 1/4 member of the House before 14-day notice period should be given to the President. After impeachment resolution passed by majority of two-thirds. Two-thirds means a special majority. Total membership of the House. Please wait 1 second. Power and function of the president: executive, legislative, financial, judicial, diplomatic, military, emergency power. Executive power: all executive action of to the government of India are formally taken his or her names. He or she can make rules for the non-convenient transaction of business under Article 77. This this term is given under Article 77. Union budget for the allocation of state business among the ministers. The prime ministers and the other ministers they hold during office his or her pleasure. He appoints the Attorney General of India and determines his or remuneration. The Attorney General holds office during the pleasure of President. This term is given under Article 76. He or she appoint the Controller and Auditor General of India, the Chief Election Commission, the Auditor General of India under Article 148. Please hold up 2 seconds. Let's continue. The appointment of Controller and Auditor General of India is under Article 148 related to the Chief Election Commission and the other election. Is this article mentioned in under Article 324? The chairman and member of UPSC under Article 315, and the governor of a state. The governor of a state. This article mentioned in 163. The chairman of and member of Finance Commission. This article mentioned in under Article 280. He or she can seek any information related to the administration or affair of the union. The proposal for legislature from the prime minister. He or she can require the prime minister to submit for reconsideration for the council of ministers any matter on which a decision has been taken by a minister but what has not been considered by the council. He or she can appoint a commission to investigate in the condition of backward class. He or she can appoint an interstate council, promotes interstate cooperation. He or she directly administers the union territory through administrator appointed by him or her lieutenant governor. He or she can declare any area scheduled area and has power to respect with the administration scheduled area, schedule 5 and schedule 6. Legislative power of the president: he can summon and propose of the parliament dissolve the Lok Sabha. He can summon a joint sitting of the Lok Sabha of the parliament. He can preside over the speaker of the Lok Sabha. He can address the parliament at the commencement of the first session after each general election and the first session of each year. He or she can send a message to the House of the Parliament whether with respect to a bill pending in the Parliament or otherwise. He or she can appoint any member of the Lok Sabha to preside over its proceeding while the office of the both the speaker and the deputy speaker fall vacant. Similarly, she can appoint a member of the Rajya Sabha presiding its officer when the house both the chairman and the deputy chairman fall vacant, and he or she can nominate 12 members of the Rajya Sabha from the background of LASS under Article 80. He or she can nominate before 2020 two members of Lok Sabha Anglo-Indians, but it's removed by 104 Constitutional Amendment Act 2019. He or she decide on question to disqualification of a member of parliament consultants with the ECI. His or her prior recommendation or permission is needed to introduce certain types of bills in the parliament. They are: first, bill involving expenditure from the consolidated fund of India; second, bill from the alteration boundary states or creation of a new state. This money bill, And the fourth, a bill that impose various any tax or duties which states are interested. Fifth, a bill which varies the meaning of the expression agricultural income as defined for the purpose of the enactment related to Indian income tax. Six, a bill which affect the principle on which sums of money are or may be distributable to states. Seventh, bill that impose any surcharge or any specific tax or duty for the purpose of centers. President related to the assents. When assent to the bill. When a bill is sent to the president after it has been passed by parliament is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. It's give his assent to the bill, withhold the bill, return the bill if the money bill is not returned to the bill after the passed by the parliament. When a bill financial power financial power of the president, money bill can be introduced in the parliament only with the prior recommendation. He or she can cause to be laid before the parliament the annual financial statement, just union budget. This term is mentioned under article 112. No demands for grants can be made except on his recommendation. He or she can advance of the contingency fund of the India to meet unforeseen expenditure for any schemes related. He or she constitute a finance commission after every 5 years. Recommend distribution between center and the state every five years. This this terms is mentioned in the under Article 280. Judicial power of the president. He or she appoint the Chief Justice of India and judge of the Supreme Court and High Court. He or she can advise Supreme Courts on any question of law or fact. However, the advice tendered by the Supreme Court is binding, not binding on the president. He or she can grant pardon, reprieve, respite, remission of punishment, suspendment, remit, or commute the sentence of any person convicted of any offense which is unbelievable. In all cases where punishment of sentence is by court martial, in all where the punishment or sentence is offense against union law or a state law, in all cases where the sentence is a sentence of death. Diplomatic power of the president. The international treaty agreement or negotiation concluded on the behalf of the name of president. Military power of the president. He he or she is the supreme commander of the defense force of defense force of India. Emergency power to the president of India. National emergency under article 352 president rule. Under article 356 56 and 365, this related article consults with governor. The financial emergency under article 360. National emergency proclamation entire country or any parts of the states which be taken on which basis: war, external aggression, armed rebellion. The president rule is also known as a state emergency or a constitutional emergency. It can prolonged by the president on the behalf of grounds failure of constitutional assembly in the state under Article 3, failure or comply with to give effect to direction given by the union under Article 3. The president acquire the following extraordinary power to the president rules is imposed in a state. He or she can declare the power of the state legislature to be exercisable or under the authority of parliament. Veto power of the president. He or she may give his assent to the bill. He or she may withhold his or her assent to the bill. He or she return the bill, but not the money bill. And the veto power of the president is three types. But the absolute veto is withhold the assent of the bill passed by the legislature. Qualified veto not used in India but used in USA. Suspensive veto, which can be overridden by the legislature with an ordinary majority. Pocket veto, there is no taking action with the bill of passed by the legislature. Ordinance making power of the president. Under Article 123, the Constitution empowers the president to promulgate ordinance during the recess of Parliament. These ordinances have the same force and effect as an act of Parliament, but are in the nature of temporary law. He or she can promulgate an ordinance only when both the House of Parliament are not in session. When either of the two House of Parliament is not an ordinance is issued when only one House is session, because a law can be passed by both Houses and not by one House alone. The ordinance made when both the Houses are in session is void. Thus, the power of the President to legislate to make the ordinance is not parallel power of the legislature. Pardoning power of the President. Under Article 72, the Constitution empowers the President to grant pardoning powers who have been tried and convicted any offence in case punishment or sentence is for offence against Union law. Punishment or sentence by a court martial. Sentence is a sentence of death sentence. The Constitution of India under mention this article. Under 52 article, President of India, executive power of the 53, executive power of the Union, 54, election of the President, 55, manner of the President, term of office of President, 56, 57, eligibility for re-election for n numbers of time, 58, qualification for election as president, condition of president's office, 60, oath or affirmation by the president, 61, procedure for impeachment of the president, 62, time or holding election to fill vacancy in the office of president, 65, vice president to act as president or to discharge his or her function, 72, pardoning power of the president. Under Article 123 to make the ordinance law in union list. लाइक करें, सब्सक्राइब करें.